Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So now we're going to see the new question in CoreDNS, that is 107. Pod cannot resolve service names, debug CoreDNS, check pod status, logs, verify service exists, test DNS from pod, nslookup audit, check resolv.conf file, verify ConfigMap. So basically, this question is to make you or help you to understand if something goes wrong, how to debug, or which are the files that you can check into and or inspect into. So that is the main intention for solving this question. So let's get started. To solve this question, we don't have any resources yet in our uh, Q killer Coda shell which we are using for demonstration. So for that, we will try to break the environment first on our own, and we'll use several commands to check the issues. Okay, so means we'll try to debug it, and yeah. So if you see here in my GitHub, I have already pasted the solution how to solve this. So we can take help of this documentation to actually look into the solution forming for this question. And so as I told you, first we need to break our environment, and we already knew from before how to create the pods, how to create the services, and so in the same way we will try to run a test box pod using a busybox container. You can just give like kubectl run name of the pod and hyphen image busybox with any tag, image tag, and you can give like sleep command, or this is just a test pod, so I'll just choose a sleep command. And here what I'll try to do, this is basically testing for DNS resolution. So what I'll do is I'll try to make the number of pods of the DNS to take to 0. So I'll just scale the deployment of the core DNS to 0 replicas. So you can use as usual to scale deployment in the namespace of kube system hyphen replicas as 0. So I'll just take that count as 0, and you can give the name of deployment. If at all you're wondering how to use the scale command, you can just go here and do scale deployment, and you can type here as hyphen head. Here you go, you will find an examples here how to use the replicas and deployment name, etc. So, okay, now basically what I did in here is I'm just turning the number of pods for deployment to 0 for core DNS. So if you do get pods in the namespace of kube system, you will not see the CoreDNS pods running because I made it to 0. Now when I try to resolve anything that involves a CoreDNS work, I should be getting some error. So since I have run the pod named busybox, you can also verify using kget pods. It's running, and I want to ping the some other service, or the core DNS, I should not be able to do it. So if I have to go into this, you can do kexec -it of the pod test pod, and you can either go into sh, go into the shell, and then try nslookup of Kubernetes default. This is the core DNS name. Points to the basic service. Okay, so now if you see, okay, I'll try to do kget services hyphen in q system. So these two are the services we have. So I think this gets stuck here because as soon as when you do Kubernetes default, it has to give me the IP address of that particular service, um, CoreDNS service, which is handling this, but I am not able to get it. So that means there is something wrong, right? I think by the end it will give me a timeout error or something. Yes, I got an error called cannot resolve Kubernetes dot default. Okay, so that is the issue, and you can use several other commands to test it. So it is not able to resolve that Kubernetes default. And if you can also test the CoreDNS Pod, no need to worry about this command. It's actually using a getpods and kube system namespace using a label called K8's app and its value as kube DNS. It says that there is no resource found having this particular label. That means you I have also verified it using this command, so there is no pod related to DNS. And what else? We can also test it using the services in the default. So I'm getting this particular Kubernetes service, and I just want to go into this pod again and I want to see the resolv.conf file. We all know that already that the pod, every pod you create, inside that pod there will be one location of the file in slash etc slash resolv.conf that has the DNS entry. But if you try now, I think it will give some issue that it is not found or something. And so it's missing basically. You can also do a git service of this. Basically, we can see the services here, the CubeDNS service here, but the actual pod is not present. And you can also verify whether there is wrong with the config maps using describe config map. If there is any indentation issue here, you can check it out. This is one more way. And so this way you can try to ping it, and let's basically fix it, making the core DNS deployment replicas back to 2 now that it is scaled. So I think I got stuck here. Let me open a new tab. I want to just now check the pods. If you see now here, I'm able to see the pods. Also, I'm able to get the particular uh, reply from Kubernetes default. Right. So this way you can inspect, use the different commands, check the logs, identify issues if there is any core DNS related config map issue, indentation issues. Okay. Also, you can check the logs as well. I think I have a example here. You can check the logs as well. This way, it's basically in the kube system namespace from the pod which has this particular key and value label. So if you don't want to exit, you can just keep it like this. And if there is any issue, it will show up here. So this way we can inspect and find out the issues to demonstrate the solution for this question. Thank you so much. Bye bye.